Seth here with another NRW React. What are we reacting to?
This is the video games, the NRW checkpoint.
Oh, we're doing checkpoint? Oh, that's what we're doing? I'm all confused. NRW checkpoint, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on with style, Brian Saff? It's been a lot. We missed last week. We got a little bit of holdovers from last week too, just because. But Brian, how you doing, man?
I'm doing okay. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. A lot of news lately. First off, I want to start off with, I think this is something we knew was coming.
What's
I
up?
think we knew this was coming when it was released last year.
Okay.
Hellblade 2 is coming to PS5.
Um,
The original Hellblade was a PS4 exclusive. I don't think anybody's surprised even before the whole Microsoft cross-publishing things.
right.
I don't know why people are upset.
Me either, especially because Xbox they're pretty much spreading themselves out across the gaming industry.
They
Got
take
a
it
lot of
over.
Xbox games coming to Nintendo Switch too. Like they've made this very clear, like they're not going to push for the whole exclusivity thing anymore. They wanna have their brand spread across the industry.
And
So
not even just that, hardware sales are up compared to last year too.
right.
So something's working. I'm not saying they're
Yeah.
like, excuse me, astronomically up, but they're up.
They're definitely doing a good job. Like I don't I don't know. I'm surprised a little bit because after, the big acquisition of all the, top guys in the game, I was like, okay, what's gonna be next? How's Xbox and Microsoft gonna juggle all this? And they've been doing pretty well.
Well,
Like,
with that, let's jump down to, even though it's last, it makes sense.
right.
May has been Game Pass biggest month ever with the number of games they put on there.
Yes. I saw an article somewhere, a gentleman said it was at least 60 games, 60 games plus, with 50 of those being like classic games from
Oh yeah,
across.
yeah, yeah. Now I popped on that the other day, which is actually powered by. Remember, I was telling you about the retro streaming service.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
powered
yeah,
by
yeah.
InStream, so
Okay.
it has a Xbox sort of themed feel to it, but it works very similarly with the challenges and everything, which I thought was pretty cool. So it's
Hmm.
50 retro games from Activision across the Atari, NES, SNES, PlayStation, that are available on Game Pass. And
Right.
then again, we talked about Clay Obscura, Expedition 33,
Which is
um,
amazing, by the way.
Outer World, not Outer Worlds, Elder Scrolls,
Yes.
Master came out.
Hmm.
Um, Ray Fantasio is coming. I think that dropped this week on Game Pass. Like it's bananas the amount of games that dropped on game. And look, outside of the retro games,
Hmm.
it's amazing the amount of games and the quality of games
Right.
dropped on Game Pass this month alone.
Right. Now they did say, if I remember correctly, that Game Pass is going to see a slight increase in price, but
They just increased the price.
okay, so then that's what that already happened then.
Yeah,
So then, but yeah, it's still a great value,
it's $20 a month
right?
right now
And
for
you getting
Ultimate.
all of these games, you can just play them.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But let's get to Sony. What's
Hmm.
up with Sony, Brian?
Well, I got an email earlier today saying that PlayStation Stars was coming to an end. Um, what did they say? Sometime in I think it was June 2026. They are not necessarily ending PlayStation Stars, but changing the way that it functions. I figure they're gonna do like some kind of rebranding and change the way that that you earn actual points to participate
Right.
in PlayStation Stars. They left like a little outline there, but it's I don't know, it's kind of detailed and not very much like I don't know. They did a good job of explaining what they're trying to do with it, but ultimately they were like, PlayStation Stars as you know it is ending in June 2026. And if those of you who don't know, now PlayStation Stars is pretty much the rewards program for being a Sony PlayStation player. So you play certain games, they give you stars, and those stars equate to real life money that you can spend in the PlayStation Store. You buy games out of the PlayStation Store, you get those stars. You complete challenges, you get those stars. It's a pretty cool, I guess, feature that they kind of just gave you. Like you don't have to be signed up to well, at least to my knowledge, you don't have to be signed up to, well, you know what, that don't make sense. Because some of the games that you have to play, they're going to be like online co-op games or stuff and stuff like that, multiplayer games. So it's still just a nice added benefit for being a Sony PlayStation like owner. And they just pretty much they say play some games, download some of the free games that we give you every month, and we're gonna give you some money. It takes a little while to earn a significant amount,
Right.
but still, if you're an avid gamer, you're somebody that participates in the challenges and the campaigns that they have going on, you'll build it in no time. But it's changing. So we'll see. I feel like they're gonna obviously announce something as far as like what it's gonna be when the time comes.
Yeah.
But for now, they just notifying everybody that hey, you got until June 26th to utilize the rewards program as it is. After that, your credits are gone. Anything that you may have earned, like because they have like digital trophies and stuff like that. Any of that stuff that you earn and don't save or keep by
Right.
June 2026 will be gone to make room for whatever rewards program they're going to implement.
Okay. All right.
Outside of that,
Nintendo.
yes.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
What's going on with Nintendo? Look, there's a lot of, how can I put this? WTF with Nintendo lately, but what's going on with Nintendo, Brian?
So I was reading an article, it's pretty much updating, about the Power World case, Pocket Pair versus the Pokemon Company and Nintendo. And Pocket Pair, they're not faring so well. I didn't necessarily expect them to because I mean if you look at Power World, like obviously it's very, very, very Pokemon inspired, like even to the design of the characters and the way that you capture them. Like it's a knockoff, but it's done in a way where it adds new elements to the pocket monster genre of gaming that makes it viable. The courts, on the other hand, they're not really they're not really feeling it because you can obviously see the different or the similarities in the game. So over the past, what did I say, like 2 months or so, they've released like 3 patches, like changing major things about the game. So there used to be a feature in the game where you could use your pals to like fly and stuff. That's a feature that has been implemented in several Pokemon games over years now. So they had to change it. So now instead of using your monsters to fly, you use a glider, or stuff like the spheres that you use to catch pals in the pal world. They have to change the way that catching structure works, summoning, and all of that stuff with the thing, like because it's so much related to what you do in Pokemon. They're like, no, you guys are knocking off the game. Change it. And so Pocket Pair has been making the changes.
The spear thing, okay, I can see that. I can see that. But the monster helping you fly thing, that is not an uncommon play mechanic.
It's not.
Story mechanic when you have monsters that you befriend, regardless of his pocket, like that's not unusual.
It's not. I think what helped the judges decide was the way in which it's done. Because if you look at it, it does. It's very similar to the way that you would mount and fly a Pokemon in the mainline Pokemon games. So just certain things that they're tweaking to actually change the game and the gameplay mechanics. Like it's I don't know. I've played the game for a few minutes. Like, it's over on PlayStation now. So I'm familiar a little bit with the mechanics, but the things that they're patching into the game are definitely changing the way that you play the game. So I don't know. Look like Pokemon Company and Nintendo, they're winning this lawsuit at least for now. And I'm thinking about at the end of it, Power is going to be a different game. I don't think they're going to shut it down, but it's going to be a different game.
I think this. I mean, what? When did the original Pokemon release? It was like 99 or something.
Yeah, well, yeah, Pokemon like it was it red, blue, and green.
Yeah, it was on the Game Boy Color.
Well, the first Pokemon was on Game Boy, just Game Boy, like the black and white.
Oh, then yeah, we talking about late 90s then.
Yeah.
So we talking about Pokemon's been around damn near 30 years.
Yes.
You have a whole generation of creatives that have grown up on Pokemon.
Hmm.
They are going to be influenced in what they do and what they
Definitely.
create. I
Especially since Pokemon is like the game that started the monster catching genre.
right. I There's one thing if somebody's doing a blatant ripoff of what you
Hmm.
do. I don't think Power World is that in any way, shape, or form.
No, it's just heavily inspired.
Exactly.
Hmm.
They're going to be like these people loved your game, love what it did, and like, I want to do this with this sort of genre. I want to do that. And the fact that Nintendo continuously tries to shut down any way, anything that has any kind of similarity. It, first of all, there isn't any sort of, in my opinion, and since you've really played Pokemon, I haven't.
Mm.
There, no one would confuse the two. One and two. Do you really have that much of a cross section? Like, would you really lose players to Power World from Pokemon? Pokemon seems like it has a very diehard crew, and
Mhm.
Pokemon is getting young players in all the time. As like
Yes.
I always say, Pokemon is like the gateway RPG.
Yes.
Um,
I can agree.
Power World is not that.
Nope, not necessarily. I think well, obviously, we know Pokemon has made tons and tons of money for the Pokemon Company and Nintendo. They have created an IP that literally spans generations now, and it doesn't look like it's slowing down at all. Like
Right.
we're getting new anime even from this IP. Like Pokemon is a thing for real. I think what Nintendo is I think what they're doing is trying to make sure that Nintendo or that Pokemon continues to be a thing and not have any other influences or knockoffs be able to
But it's
also share in that success.
but this isn't a this is the thing, like, it's not a knockoff. It's
No,
like
definitely
similar
not.
gameplay elements. And that's the thing. Like, I understand the argument of, hey, some of your monsters and characters are very reminiscent of Pokemon's. I
Mhm.
understand that argument and why Nintendo would take them to court. But
Yes.
when we have companies that are taking other companies to court because of similar gameplay mechanics, that's when I have an issue. It's
Okay.
gameplay mechanics. Every game is built off of what came before it.
True.
Every game has similar gameplay. Look, that's like you don't see and I forget the name of the game, uh Kill Switch or whatever it is that was
Okay.
on like the original Xbox. And that was one of the first games where you use cover shooting. You don't see that developer and publisher. They didn't sue Epic for Gears of War because they use cover shooting and
Mhm.
jumping behind. Like the fact that companies are able to sue because of similar gameplay mechanics is absolutely ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
And I don't see how you are able to. And they've had this conversation with the Monarch system with the company that Warner Brothers shut down because they patented the system in, which is so stupid. But anyway, the fact that companies can sue and patent gameplay mechanics,
Hmm.
not the software or the algorithms that they create to make things happen, which I understand, but the actual mechanics of something is absolutely ludicrous. And the fact that Nintendo can sue and win because of similarity in gameplay mechanics is absolutely stupid to me.
Yeah. They just bullying them. That's really
I
all
mean,
it
that's really
is.
what it is.
Yeah. And it's because honestly is because you can't really refute it. Like the Pokemon and the Power, they do look very similar. If a kid who was not super aware of Pokemon or just coming into the franchise were to look at these two monsters on the shelf side by side, they may actually confuse a Power Word monster for a Pokemon monster. That's fair. You have that's pretty much like, I don't know, General Mills being mad because there's a knockoff brand at Walmart that's like right next to it, look exactly like it. You taking a little bit of money out of my pocket, but at the end of the day, I agree with what you're saying. The gameplay mechanics and stuff, and like that's not something that I personally feel like should be a a point of contention in court. Like,
Right.
okay, your game's got similar gameplay mechanics. That's what do you expect? You created a good game. Somebody saw it and was like, okay, I could take and use some of that and make this game that I want to make in the way that I want to make it. Like,
Exactly.
if anything, if Nintendo was a fair player, they would just be like, hey, I see what you did here. Just give me a small percentage and go live your life.
Exactly. Like,
Like,
hey,
I don't understand why they have so much of well, I do understand because Pokemon is Pokemon, but like, loosen up the grip on the licensing. Just let some of that stuff go and make some extra money off of it.
yeah,
Power World does not have the they just don't have the muscle that Pokemon has.
right.
The games are not even like Pokemon itself. All of this is derivative from an anime, from a TV show. Like,
Hmm.
Power doesn't have TV show behind it. They don't have movies. They don't have, well, they do have merchandise, but it's not world known like Pokemon is. Like, you
Right.
can loosen up a little bit and just like, okay, licensing fee, maybe a small fine for not coming to me first about this, and then that's it.
Yeah, yeah, I can see, or even a past to change what characters look like, so they look different, so they're not. And I think some of that has already happened before.
Right.
But gameplay mechanics, being able to sue off of that just sounds absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
If it was a straight clone, then all right, I understand, I feel you. But Power World is not. Like when I got going in craft and I got survive and I got like, there's a whole lot more to Power World than Pokemon.
Yeah. Well, I won't say there's a whole lot more, but I
They're
agree.
different things. They're
Yes,
different gameplay
there's
mechanics in
clear
Power World
differences in
compared to
the
Pokemon and what you got to do.
exactly.
Yeah, I'll
Like,
put it that way.
I cannot grab a Pokemon and just have it shooting its powers across the landscape.
Right,
You're only seeing attacks in battle. Power World is not like that. I could
right,
literally blow down a whole building with one attack and it's just, well, that's the game.
right.
But oh, that's the news.
All right, that's the
What
news. Let's get into some new releases.
okay.
This one, I forget what it's remastered from, but we're about to find out. Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Battle Destiny Remastered on the Switch and PC. Become a pilot in the world of Mobile Suit Gundam Seed for the first time available with English localization. Engage in thrilling, action-packed Gundam battles, complete missions, and tune up your newly acquired Gundam suits or mobile suits. Relive legendary moments from Gundam Suit, Mobile Gundam Suit Seed, and Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Destiny with enhanced maps and graphics.
Okay.
That's one anime series I have never gotten into.
Really?
Yeah, I've never gotten into Gundam. I saw some like the original stuff, and everybody was in the Gundam wing. And
Mhm.
I think maybe a couple months ago,
Mhm.
I'm like, a friend of mine and I was like, yo, what's an anime you never seen before? And let's like watch it and give our opinions. And we were
Mhm.
talking about it. And we were watching the first episode because neither one of us had seen it. And I was bored.
So that's the thing, right? Gundam, essentially, it is kind of boring,
Yeah,
and I've watched Gundam Wing, Mobile Suit Gundam, like a bunch of the different franchises
right.
from the Gundam Wing camp,
It's been on as long as I've been alive. So yeah.
right? But um, it is boring. It starts off
Yeah.
boring. You don't really get into like the excitement of it until they're in space fighting or on whatever planet, Earth. I don't know, this other planet
Right.
fighting, and yeah, but the story is what really carries the show.
Yeah,
But
I imagine so. The
yeah,
first episode just did not grab me. But
right.
this is Mobile Suit Gundam Seed, and based on that. So I'm interested to see what the trailer looks like and what type of game it is.
Me as well. I really like Gundam, Mobile Suit, everything. I think if you're interested in watching Gundam, find out which one, or maybe I'll shoot you something.
Okay.
Because there are certain franchises underneath the Gundam umbrella that are like the ones to watch.
Right.
Anybody who's seen Gundam will tell you that. Like, oh, this one, not so much, but this particular iteration is the one. I'm gonna find out or go through my things and see which ones, and I'll shoot you some ideas because there's some good ones out there.
Okay. All right. Next up, we have Trident Tail on the PS4, 5, Xbox One, SX, Switch, and PC. Set sail on for an epic action-packed adventure in Trident's Tail, where you'll become Ocean, a bold young. Really, you're Ocean. Okay. A bold young captain on a quest to reclaim the legendary Storm Trident, a mythical artifact that grants power over the seas. Again, his name is Ocean. All right. But beware, the ocean is vast and treacherous, and crawling with danger at every turn. So that sounds interesting. So I'm looking forward to seeing it.
It does.
I would say we've gotten a lot of pirate stuff, but this sounds a lot more mythological. So interested.
Yeah.
And last, the game we're covering this week is Lynked, Banner of the Spark on the Xbox Series, PS5, and PC. Team up, brawl, and build in this co-op action game that blends hack and slash combat with roguelike inspired missions and town building progression that goes beyond the run. Unlock and upgrade gear, rescue robot allies, and lead the resistance against the world-dominating combat. That sounds like it's a lot of things all at once.
Right. It's called Lynked.
Yes. Well, that's our first trailer, Lynked, Banner of the Spark.
When the world is taken over by the evil combots, it'll be up to you to save the future in Lynked, Banner of the Spark. With the friendly Unibots by your side, there's nothing you can't handle. So, whenever you're ready, the next adventure is just around the corner. Either solo or with friends, every mission starts with your weapon. Whether you prefer melee, ranged, or a face-melting power core, there's equipment for every playstyle. And you can always count on the Wire, a handy tool that lets you grab, throw, and rip combat enemies down to the screws. Bring resources home after every mission. Then earn more by mining and fishing. Strengthen your bonds with friends to unlock new weapons, gear, and abilities. Then, equip a loadout and take your new spark powers for a spin. These special skills will tip the odds in your favor, heal your teammates, distract your enemies, or just straight up knock them out. You can also bring some bot residents into battle to help you rescue their captive friends. Or for maximum impact,
that's really cool, actually.
Ally to unleash an ultimate attack.
I love the color palette. It looks very inviting.
The more you play, the more blueprints you'll find.
It reminds me of like Spiral for some reason.
New additions can unlock tools and upgrades for your next mission. But who says you can't also add some flourishes for fun? Whether it's challenging or chill, make the resistance your own. Play now.
Okay.
Yeah, I am. It is a lot going on. I don't mind games like that. I don't think that game is necessarily my cup of tea.
Okay.
But it looks exciting. It looks like something that would definitely attract a lot of different players.
Definitely. I really am feeling this game.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, it's a co-op game. Okay. Yeah, I can get into that. Especially if I find somebody to play with. This is gonna be great.
Is it two player or is it is it just two player?
I'm not sure. It just say co-op on the synopsis thing, which I mean, get definitely 2. But I don't know. I like the gameplay looks pretty cool. I like that element of like where you have to like take care of things, like a Harvest Moon type of vibe to it with the planning and stuff like that. That looks dope. I don't know, a lot of stuff going on, like you said, but for some reason it looked fun and it does look inviting, like you said.
Yeah, I
don't know, I'm interested. How much would they set us? Did we get a price? Let me see.
We didn't get a price. I wouldn't expect it's like a AAA price, personally speaking.
No, I don't think either. But what's our next one?
Next one is Trident's Tale.
Okay. Oh, it's $20. That's great.
Oh, hey, even better.
Or at least 20 on Steam.
Trident's Tale.
What drives a pirate to set sail on an adventure?
Right.
Surely the treasures of the sea. Sometimes it's fate.
25?
It takes courage, of course.
Now see, I like theatrical trailers.
Without a doubt. A loyal
for the game.
Do you think that's enough to set sail? Don't ask for my opinion. I'm just here to tell you a tale.
Okay.
Okay, it looked all right.
Yeah, I need to see more of the gameplay.
Yeah, same. Look that up later.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up, we go out into space, maybe, with Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Battle Destiny Remastered.
Now, did they say that this was...
I always like giant robots, so we good there.
Yeah, sure. So I don't know. I'm not aware of this game or what it came from originally, but just looking at it, it reminds me of the Maxi Boost game, which is like one of the latest Gundam games to come out. I think. I don't know. We might have talked about that game on here at some point, but the way that game plays is very reminiscent of like some of the best of the enemies. This game is anything like that. It's a little slower, so I'm ready. Okay.
Alrighty. I mean, that looked like a
Gundam
what I would expect from a Gundam game.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So that's it for the new releases this week. But we missed last week, and there were 2 pretty prominent releases last week. So let's check out the trailer for Doom, the Dark Age.
Oh, yes. Okay. It's crazy. I actually
we didn't talk about that as far as coming out.
Right.
Identified. Weaponry deployed.
Impact confirmed. The Slayer has been activated.
I want to play Doom just for like all the cool, like this stuff right here. You got a gun to your left, gun to your right, shield slash, chainsaw blade. Like, this looks cool.
Let me tell you, this the crazy part of, going back to, Hellblade 2 and then the Microsoft's cross-platform strategy. So I was listening to reports on Dune: The Dark Ages. 3 million players are already playing this game. And that's like, I think it says 7 times faster than Doom Eternal. There are more people playing on Xbox than on PC and PS5. I was like, that was interesting. A lot of that's Game Pass, but 5 of the top 10 selling games on PS5 are Xbox games.
Yeah, because Xbox has great games. They always have. They always have. It's just, you get a console and it's like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to convince mom and dad to get me an Xbox as well.
Right.
But I'm glad, though. I like I said earlier, I like that Microsoft and Xbox, they're kind of spreading out their footprint across the gaming space, because I don't know. They're, in doing that, they're kind of setting themselves apart from Sony and Nintendo. Because Nintendo, their thing, they have one-of-a-kind exclusive games only to Nintendo console. PlayStation, kind of the same thing, but then they share games, the multiplayer side with Xbox and stuff, to Call of Duties and stuff like that. Xbox doing like, okay, I'm gonna spread out. Certain games are gonna be very, very functionally well done for Switch. Some are gonna go great on Xbox, and then we're still gonna have some over on PlayStation as well. I like that.
I think what they're doing and how they're doing it for the most part is, I have not been one of those Xbox people who's like, oh my God, no. Like, again, Seiyuu Saga, Hellblade 2. Right. That's like over a year after. Like, literally, I was looking through my old video. I did the Game Bites on it a year ago when it came out. It's been a year. It will come to PlayStation a year afterwards, or, a lot of things a month afterwards, or like the games Gears of War Remaster. That's like a remaster of Gears of War 1. How many times have we gotten that? A remaster of Gears 1 or a collection? There are things that I'm like, yo, really? It's video games. You pocket watching these companies, they don't give a damn about you. Right. Realistically.
And ultimately, if you want Xbox to continue, this is a good thing. They're bringing in new player bases. Exactly. They're bringing in new customers. That's just going to entice them to keep making games and keep developing stuff for you.
And I would say this, Xbox, look, the way this console generation has been some ass. Okay? Yeah. And we even see that with the Switch 2 and that price and how they're doing things. It's been ass. It may stay this way.
Definitely.
So the fact that it stayed this way, they're not growing console players. That base is staying the same and shrinking in some cases. So once we get to the next generation, console gaming is going to be more and more of a luxury, especially with these prices.
Definitely.
A lot of people are going to be shut out. Microsoft is the only one that's trying to still make sure they try to make sure they get money at both ends. At the high end with their own console and stuff, and then the low end with Game Pass.
Definitely.
They're the only ones that's doing that. It is smart. They're trying to get everybody. If I can't get you buying a $700 system, I can get you paying $20 a month for Game Pass.
Definitely.
So it's smart. But the last game is not Microsoft or anything, but it's a game that I'll probably be buying very shortly, tonight or tomorrow.
Okay.
Capcom Fighting Collection 2. Okay. Let's go.
Yeah, come on. Everybody come alive real quick. Battle of the strong, survival of the fit.
You can't beat it. And it's 8 of the best games ever. Capcom first SG.
$5 a game.
Yeah.
Really, it's $5. Like, look, all I needed was Power Stone. That was it. Like, that was it. Power Stone, Capcom. I would pay $40 just to go. Let alone everything else. Street Fighter Alpha 3, Project Justice. Cyber Sword. Never played that. But just like, the value. Man.
Yeah, right.
Value.
Can't beat this.
God. All the SNK.
From 10 times as much in the arcade.
Exactly.
They put it on 20 years ago.
Yeah, come on.
Also, that's like basic in my plus.
Take your best shot. Hope you don't miss. A new challenger is among us.
Yes, they all playable online.
The hands eat Honda. Defend my legacy with straight. Showdown. This is my
Yeah, I might. Max Box says I might go buy that after we get off. Like seriously. So, all right, well, that's our trailers for the week. Obviously, you know how Brian and I feel about that game. But Brian, what's going on with you, man? What you got coming up next?
I'm writing out another episode of the Sapphire Loud podcast. Hopefully, I have that drop sometime next week. But right now, I'm just in the planning stages or the writing stages, I should say. And that's pretty much it. I'm getting ready to travel again, so
okay,
focusing on that.
Alrighty.
How about you?
Right now, all my BlurCon footage has been dropping, so pretty much every other day you get. I only know where I am right now because there's so much content. Also, look forward to Awesome Cons coming soon. My footage from there, all my interviews. I went to ECBACC up in Philly this past weekend, so we got interviews from there. That stuff is already populating socials, but you'll see it on YouTube eventually. What else? Oh yeah, PAX East. I went to PAX East. So check out my Game Bites with the Toxic Crusaders demo, as well as the Jay and Silent Bob beat 'em up game. So both of those on NRW as well. And you're going to see more footage and interviews from that coming up soon also. But you know we are Nerds Rule the World. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at the NRW, on Instagram at New Release Wednesday. And you're currently on YouTube, so make sure you like, you share, and subscribe.